Hi, welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast. Today is Stitch. Today is Saturday, December 15th at I don't know why I said at, but now you get to know the time. 1845.
Which is 6:45.
We just came home from mass, and I drove into work to find out that right as I got there that I was put on call. So I'm very excited about it. My phone's gonna be off off camera, so I can be responsibly on call. I don't anticipate being called right away unless someone gets sick. Because last time I was put on call, I got called in less than half an hour later. It was depressing.
So if you see us in different clothes, it's because we did half the podcast today and half tomorrow.
I hope that won't be the case. I hope I get to stay on call and at home all night. That would be nice. But yeah, you get to see me in my uniform for once. I am wearing my sweater I crocheted a while back when I first started this podcast. Um, I'm wearing that because it's my work sweater. I forgot how much I like buttons and how they form sweaters to you. It actually looks nice, and yes, I am admiring my sweater. Anyway, this thing is ancient. They were painting at work, and I was so terrified that I was going to get paint on myself. But I didn't, and it is all dry, so that is good. Anyway, various and sundry. Thanks, everyone, for your support the other Tuesday, when I had a horrible night Monday night. It was just terrible. Busy team with a patient who was very difficult. Um, so I really appreciate the support at that time. I was about ready to pull my hair out. But, yeah. Are you looking for something?
A pen. I want to remind myself to do a shout out later on.
I don't have a pen on me. I'm sorry.
Oh, right there.
Oh. I guess I didn't introduce myself this time around. Usually I do that by now. Hold on. There you go. My name is Talia. I am one of your hosts. I am known as Franciscan Gypsy on Ravelry and on Plurk.
Oh, just a minute. I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted. I'm writing a note. I'm Marlicia, also known as Lady Furnico. I'm known as Lady Furnico both on Ravelry and on Plurk, and as Shadowlight or Shadowlight1 on my writers' communities.
If you hear noise in the background, my sister and my dad are getting Christmas stuff out. We're trying to take advantage of the fact that since I was supposed to be working tonight, we were supposed to try to cram all of our Christmas getting ready stuff in and the podcast tomorrow after I got up around 2:30 because I work Monday night as well. So I wouldn't be able to even get up too much earlier without making myself exhausted Monday night. So we're trying to take advantage of the fact that I was put on call. So yeah, if you hear noise in the background, that's what that is. Anyway, let's get on to the knitting and crocheting, which I presume is the reason why you're here. First project I'm working on, well, it barely bears mentioning because I've only been doing a few stitches since I started the camera rolling. It's a Heavenly Sapphire sweater. It's a twin set sweater and cardigan by Claire Montgomery, making it for Mom. It's from the book Knitting Vintage, and I'm using my Knit Picks Annie and Treasure in the Sapphire Heather colorway. I forget what needle size I'm using. I think I'm using 5s. I think something like that.
4s or 5s?
I think it might be 5s. Because I think that I use 3 and 5s throughout the pattern. Like, I think I use 3 for the ribbing and then 5 for the main. I can't remember. Anyway, this is what it looks like so far. I'm in the middle of a row, so I'm pulling a Lindsay.
Lindsay is infamous in our podcast.
I think the color quality is a little bit better.
You can see a little bit. It doesn't look quite so black, even though it looks very dark. It is a green-blue.
It's not really green blue. It's
a blue-green. It's pretty.
It doesn't have that much green in it at all.
I think it does.
It has no green in it. At all.
You are, in fact, in error.
It's a lovely blue.
It's very pretty.
It's
a sapphire.
Yes.
It's a sapphire.
We got the white lights in the room, so I think the color quality is a little bit better. And this is probably as good as it's gonna get, unfortunately.
Oh, and the word we were looking for last week was commission.
Yes.
Commission. Yes.
Um,
Somebody used it in a podcast, so it was.
I knew you were wrong.
Yes, well, everyone makes an error once in a while. The only one who.
You were wrong. That's all it's important.
Oh, yes. Two little minds.
Anyway,
Take your victories while you can get them.
I do.
You must, because they're so few and far between.
Master Chief does not approve.
Sorry about that. I'm sure that probably wasn't great on your ears if you had earbuds in. I do apologize.
She did it on purpose.
I did.
Actually, this is probably the first time I look semi-neat in a podcast in a while. Usually I've just rolled out of bed.
You are digressing.
Yes, I am. Projects. So, we talked about Heavenly Sapphire. The next project, I've been working almost exclusively on this since I started working out this week. It's Besk. It's the Patty the Pillow Pony pattern. Try to say that 12 times fast.
I think I'd rather not.
Patty the Pillow Pony pattern. Patty the Pillow Pony. By Allison Cleaver.
You failed.
I am making it for me using USAID. I've fibered. Knit picks, interchangeable circulars. I am using Yarn Bee, Andy's Alpaca, 85% acrylic and 15% alpaca. By the way, after like a long time of working with just acrylic, the alpaca in this particular yarn has been very soothing. I was starting to get a little chafed on the back of my fingers where I trail my yarn. So it's got 85% acrylic and 15% alpaca in the Arabesque colorway. And it'll be approximately 13 inches high and 14 inches long. I'm going to have a collection of huge stuffed animals. So, I can almost call this podcast The Weekend of Toys. Or The Week of Toys.
Possibly.
Anyway.
Potentially. Even.
There are 4 legs.
Yes, most animals do have 4 legs.
And they're horses at least.
Yes.
Unless they have 3 legs. I think you can see the color variation a little better.
Yeah.
And there's 4 of these. I just don't feel like pulling them all.
I can hardly see the cable. Can you turn around for the cable?
It's on both sides. They can see the cable, Mom. Kind of ish. That's as good as it's gonna get right now.
It's a real nice cable. It's a very
simple cable.
Well, it's a very distinctive cable. Is what I meant to say. It's very easy to see when it's not on the camera.
It has performance anxiety.
Yes.
So I'm keeping. This is gonna sound ridiculous. Okay, I keep the limbs that are finished in my Egyptian kitties bag. And then I keep inside that Egyptian kitties bag with the finished limbs my No Makers bag by Tangerine Designs. I keep wanting to call it Tangerine 8 Designs, even though that's not.
I think that's just because it's her
clerk name.
Clerk name, yeah.
So, I'm going to have to change yarn here.
Casey is confusing us.
I'm going to have to change yarn soon for this, but I was like down. I was like there. Folding it over, I was like here. Now, look how much progress I've made. And now you can see the cable.
It's so pretty. It looks like a sweater. Every time she
It looks like a sweater, but in a couple of rows, I'll be sewing this bottom up and then stuffing it. That was an idea on someone else's pattern page because I was getting so frustrated with working in the round. Well, this isn't the round, but working it's magic looping. So I'm just working it straight and sewing it on the bottom because it's a lot simpler. And I am kind of depressed that this is not a sweater because this would be an awesome sweater. Because look, it almost fits my waist.
Be scratchy though.
It would be scratchy. That's why I didn't make it for a sweater for you. But yeah, Davina actually looked at it and was like, "It's gonna be scratchy for toys. You sleep with it, won't it?"
Did she say that?
Yes, she did.
I think that's acrylic, isn't it? You can wash it.
It's acrylic with alpaca.
Can you wash it?
Maybe. to look and see. I don't plan on like dumping it in mud or something though.
Well, no, I'm just saying that if you wash it, sometimes it'll get softer. The clothes does.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I want to risk it with the alpaca.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only 15% alpaca. But yes, this has been a lot of my knitting. I love knitting this. It's fairly mindless. Because I think I end up doing a cable like every 4 rows or something. And it's the same cable, so it's easy to memorize. I'll be getting to my decreased rows pretty soon, though, to start preparing to go into the neck. I like it when I get to the neck and head, because then I start feeling like I'm really making a toy.
Yeah. They have personality.
Yes, they do. And I have a bunch of cool eyes for him. Although...
He only needs 2.
Yes, but I'm not sure what color I'm going to give him.
He only needs 2.
I actually even still have some purple left. I'm kind of surprised.
I have some purple that are bigger too, I think.
I got the biggest size for all the eyes that I could give, just because he's a big toy. He's going to need the biggest size I have.
We like big eyes.
Yeah, and he's a big toy. So, that's him. I've been pretty... Last week I worked on like all of my projects. This week I've worked almost exclusively on certain projects. I worked on my Christine socks. And to be quite frank, I only got a couple rows done because it's been so busy at work lately that I've hardly gotten any knitting done at all. I have hardly had a break. And last night I actually got a break, which is why I was so hopeful. I came home and I was like, I hope I get put on call because I know at least half my team's going home. So, in my Batman bag by Floverbird, this is my work bag because it has this nice little handle. I tried using Tangerine Designs Tangerine Designs Supergirl, Batgirl, Wonder Woman bag, and unfortunately, just because of the way it's set up, the yarn twists around the bag if I use it at work, because I clip it on my phone and I walk with it. I don't know if I'm getting something or whatever. I don't do it if I'm going to patients' rooms, but in the middle of the night if I'm checking the telemonitors or something like that, I'll leave it clipped to me. Anyhow, that's my favorite work bag. It stays in my purse. And it's in my little Slip Stitches DPN holder with keys on it. So I've got a couple rows done. This is supposed to be for the, it's a pair of socks. It's the Simple Skip socks by Adrienne Koo. I'm calling them Christine socks. I'm using my US 2 DPNs. And I'm using Wild Hair Fiber Studio in the blue-pink colorway. It's for the knit-along, for the calc, being done by Sock Bunny Knit and Fit with Knitting Den podcast. So 2 different podcasts, Knitting Den and Sock Bunny Knit and Fit, are doing a variegated yarn sock cal. And it's going to go till the end of January. So it's a nice, sedate. I'm still probably not going to finish these socks before then. But it's a nice, sedate knit along. I like these DPNs. I like how sharp they are. My only beef is they're a little long. I know you can get them shorter. I like how short my clovers are, but I don't like how they are not sharp. So if I can get like something in between, it'd be perfect.
I think Knit Pick has them shorter.
Because the problem is when I'm knitting my socks, one of my DPNs will get caught in my sleeve. So I have to like work around it. And since I'm usually wearing this when I'm crocheting at work because it gets freezing at night, or I'm knitting at work because it gets freezing at night, it gets tangled. I mean, I can work around it, but my perfect pair of DPNs would be, I'm not sure how long this is. I think I might have a ruler here. I do have a ruler. I has one. Okay. So the Knit Picks ones are about 6 inches long. The clovers are about 5 inches. So like my perfect length for DPNs are 5 inches with the nice pointy end that the Knit Picks have. Can I work with those 6 inches? Yeah. And for maybe bigger projects, they're probably very useful. For socks, where I don't have huge feet, I mean, I have long feet, but my feet are skinny, so I don't need a whole lot of stitches. The clovers are perfect because they just don't get caught in my sleeve. I just wish that they were sharper because I like nice, sharp, pointy needles. So yeah, that is my progress so far. A couple rows. Gotta stick this back in here. Now, I was gonna say that's not your pen, just so you realize that. Okay. Anyway, the last lip that I have is not that. There it is. I call him Mr. D. He's the Chickadee pattern by Chiwa Love, and I used US 7 Knit Picks Interchangeable Circulars. And let's see. I used Red Heart in I think it's Red Heart Super Saver, and the buff colorway. I love this yarn in black and white, and also I love this yarn will be used in dark gray and light gray if I finish this. So here he is so far. He's a lot bigger than anticipated because they wanted me to use DK yarn and I didn't have DK in the right color. So I went up needle sizes to be appropriate for the yarn.
He's adorable.
He's a lot huger, a lot bigger than he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be an ornament.
Huger, huh?
I wanted a toy anyway, but he's a lot bigger than normal Chickadee. My beef with it is I think I misunderstood how to do the mattress stitch. I looked it up when I was at the point where I needed to do it because I knew I couldn't quite remember it. So I looked up on YouTube, but our internet was acting funky, so I had to look it up on my cell phone, and I couldn't quite see. So I think I did it wrong.
Did you tell him that was originally a knit pattern?
This is the knit pattern.
Oh, it's the knit one, okay.
And look, see, it's kind of funky. This was worked flat without giving too much away because it is a paid for pattern. I think it cost $6. Can't remember.
Probably because you didn't buy it. Did you?
You know, I think you did buy it for me when I had that really bad day. But it's worked flat, and then you sew it up with a mattress stitch, and then you do your beak and your wings and all that, and your tail. Well, I worked it flat, and I did the mattress stitch wrong, so he has like this obvious spine. At least we know Mr. D is not spineless.
Yes, he has a definite vertebrae. Definite
but
spine.
It is kind of depressing because I did not want a spine there, and it's really obvious. But oh well. Right now he's a ball with eyes.
He's cute.
But he has an ugly spine.
No, he's cute.
He's got a really ugly spine.
Yeah, you just be nice. You would not make a good special ed person.
You have an ugly spine. He's got.
Poor little foot. Uncool.
You know he has no beak or anything, right?
He will.
He's got an ugly spine. He has no beak and wings and tail.
Move along.
Yes. Those are my lips.
Okay. I have not done a lot on many things. I was more. Oops.
You're more oops. Oops is over there.
I'm going to take this stitch out.
Oops is confused because you called him.
I have been a little more monogamous this week than I was last week as well. Hello, baby. I didn't do much work on the Nicole. I wasn't going to show it to you, but see if I got enough to show you. I'm also pulling a Lindsay here. I only did about, you can see where the marker is here.
Oh, you actually left the marker? Wow. I haven't done that in like ages.
So it's not a whole lot of work on this. Probably because I basically do it when I'm podcasting. Or if I'm watching TV and like one of my works in progress is supposed to be for my husband, so I can't do it when I'm watching television because he's nosy.
And hopefully you can't hear us.
He gets a whiff of a Christmas gift and I have trouble, so I don't work on it. So that's one of the things I've been working on. I didn't get much done on it. The other thing that I did a little bit of work on, not a lot, is my Mike the Tiger, Mikey.
Mikey?
I showed you the muzzle last week.
I need a haircut for sure.
Yeah, I am too. See here. I showed you the muzzle last week, and I really haven't done anything else on it. So if I can't find it, it won't be any loss to me not to show it to you this week. It's just irritating me that I can't find it. And it is in my lowest my knitting is my bag. Knitting is my bag, owl bag. I put it in one of the pockets. There it is. So the muzzle remains.
It's got a white muzzle. Okay.
Well, it's kind of an off-white, and then I still have to embroider that. I just haven't done it yet because I don't like to sew. So I'll get to it when I get to it. And I was about.
Oh, did you hear that wind?
Yes, I did. I was about here when you last saw it, and so I've done a fair amount.
Yeah, you have. So he's not going to have the black all the way around.
No, this is the front. I think that's where the muzzle goes right here.
Oh, okay.
So I made a little bit of progress on my.
So you had some color work. Yay!
So that I'm still working on the color work. It's a little bit uneven.
You get used to it.
I'll get used to it.
I actually prefer color work with knitting because you can hold even tension. Even though it's easier if you use both hands.
My other work in progress is the one I'm trying. Where's my hook?
I ate it.
Oh, there it is. Excuse me, I'm out of the picture. This.
Now you're really out of the picture.
My husband.
Now you're really out of the picture. Ow! Now you're really out of the picture.
Anyway, this is the other project I'm working on. This is the tie. My husband never asks for anything, and he wanted a tie. And this is a crocheted tie, and I like the pattern and everything. But you see the pattern? I don't know if you can see it.
I can't really see it much in the other pattern.
You could put something behind it.
No, I honestly can't see even without something behind. I think it's just difficult to pick out.
It's kind of a rosette maybe kind of pattern, and I like it all right. It moves fairly quickly, but it's really hard to keep the edges straight, at least for me. So I'm thinking I may go to a knitted tie. I'll keep doing this one, but I may go to a knitted tie for his gift. He never asks for anything, and I'd really like him to want to wear it. And right now it's just a little bit wonky. So,
what are you using?
I'll get to that in just a second. It's not very heavy, thankfully, and I think he'll like it because he did ask me to make it, but I would like it to be something that he's proud to be wearing. I'm using I'm using No Maker's Skeiny Dipper yarn. It's a sock weight.
Where did you get that yarn from, pray tell?
Are you finished? Yeah. Would you like to?
No, that's okay, go on.
Okay. She runs off at the mouth sometimes. Anyway, this is Amanda has her Skeiny Dippers that she offers every so often. I really love them, and this was one that Taya got along with a kind of a beautiful silver, and she gifted me both of them for ties for my husband.
Because it's got
bamboo in it, and it's shiny. So
voila tie.
Voila tie. So regardless of whether I knit one or crochet one, I think the silver will be knitted. I am using the No Maker's yarn. It's very good for this kind of a project. I'm excited. I'm using a C hook.
And I'm thinking, Mom, if you probably still have enough if you wanted to knit one blue later.
Oh yeah, I think so. I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted. The Simple Tie is by Stina Svensson, and I had to go looking because the measurements were not in U.S. measurements. So looking for the hook and the yarn and stuff like that took a little time for me, but I found it, and
I think this hook is put out by the Crochet Dude, actually.
I don't know. It might be.
I'm not sure. I can't remember if you got it at Hobby Lobby or if you got it at
I think I got
Michael's.
this. I think I got this at Hobby Lobby.
Well, then it's not the Crochet Dudes because Crochet Dudes carried at Michael's.
It's carried at Hobby Lobby too.
Oh, okay.
But the funny thing about this is, I think this is supposed to be for people who have problems with their hands. I can't hold it up here. I still end up holding it down here. It's just, I don't like the round surface, and it's also too high up for me. So I'm doing all right with it. I'm not pressing too hard on it, so it's not a problem. But I just found it interesting. I don't need to pay the extra money for the larger handle.
I think we like to work closer than most people because I remember when my boss knits and I was trying to show her how to do socks magically because she'd never seen it done before. And she was looking at me and she was like, "You work awfully close to needles and pull it really, really tight." So I guess we just have a tendency to work like our hands really close to our project.
It feels fiddly, like I don't have any control with
I agree
with this long. So this is my final work in progress. The other thing I worked on, I will show you when I have a finished object because I worked on it till it was done. Okay, that's about it.
All right, that brings us into FOs.
Oh yeah, FOs.
And I do have one. This was like, I worked on this, well, it took me about 2 days. Kind of like, it probably was more like a day in actuality, if I was to measure it out. But, yes, it is, I'm calling her Princess. She's technically from the Chickadee pattern by Chua Love.
The one that she just showed you knit. It's the same pattern, but...
Okay, yeah, so let me explain. For one thing, she's huge.
She's got purple eyes.
First, let me explain her name. She's called Princess because chickadees are one of those birds that I always picture like Disney princesses picking up. You know, like those little birds, like little sparrows, little chickadees. And I always picture Disney princesses picking up and cupping in their hand, and they just chirp really happily there, and then they do that typical Disney princess move where they go, wham, and the bird goes flying away happily. Yeah, I always wanted to do that. This bird will not. I mean, that's a big bird.
But he's so cute.
She's
so cute.
So that's why she's called Princess. And that's why she has purple eyes. Because she's a princess. She needs purple eyes.
Rainbow eyes.
Well, your rainbow eyes weren't available, so she got purple eyes.
Yeah, I told her she could have rainbow eyes, but I was asleep by the time she decided she might want to use them. So.
Well, I got the smaller ones, but that was before I realized that she'd be a ginormous chicken. What happened was I was really annoyed with how
the ridge in the back.
Where are you at, Mr. D? Stop hiding. I want to compare to somebody.
He doesn't want to be made fun of again.
So I was really mad about his spine. And this is why my hand was so chafed, though, because look at how much of that Red Heart buff I had to use. It was working constantly for 4 days, just about, on Red Heart. Plus, I just finished
the
cowl with this old guy, which is all Red Heart. My hand was killing me. Runtman. There we go.
Come here, Runtman.
Keeps twirling away. Anyway.
This is a Runtman.
Yes, he was my first toy. But, oh yeah, so I was annoyed with how this ended up with a ridge. So I was like, well, let me try working around. First I tried knitting it around, but got really fiddly with the DPNs. And I really didn't want a magic loop. So, and I figured it'd be just about as fiddly. Probably not. I just didn't want to do magic looping for whatever reason. So I was like, well, you know what? I could easily make this a crochet pattern. So I went through and I made this knitted pattern into a crochet pattern. It's not written down anywhere. It's all up here. It's like one step closer to the designing elements. Maybe eventually I'll design the toy I want to design. So I basically designed the beak based on what it looked like. The wings, they had you working, I think they had me working from the big part down. I worked from the small part up instead. The tail wasn't too much trouble. I had to do some fiddling with the decreases up here. But yeah, I made this into a crochet pattern, and she ended up huge.
She's adorable, though.
I used, she's growing on me. I wasn't sure that I liked her when I finished initially, but I think I'm liking her now. She's not chickadee. She's huge for chickadee.
She's a giant chickadee.
Yes, she is. I used USH 5mm hook. And, I mean, if you were to say it's any pattern, it's the chickadee pattern by Chua Love, because it's their look. If you look at their pattern, it would be a lot smaller, but this is their look. It's just, I changed all the stitches.
She crocheted instead of knitted.
Yes, I crocheted instead of knitted. And she's nice and firm, because I like my toys firmly stuffed, so they keep their shape. So yeah, her wings are a little wonky, but
I like her wings. They're cute.
it's mostly because I think I was trying to convince myself that they would be longer versus fatter, and so I was like, you're going to be longer, and I pulled, and then I sewed. And I should have just sewed it like it was at Red's, because it was going to settle back into what it was at Red's, no matter how much I pulled it. But it was a bit of...
Acrylic does not block.
It was my magical thinking at work. Yes. She's a finished
her
object.
head.
Well, I'm trying to make... She's supposed to be down like this, not like tall. She's taller than a normal chickadee.
Well, you shouldn't have stuffed her so much then.
No, I was trying to stuff her so much to make her fatter. I wanted her to be fat.
But she's very happy with you for making her fat.
So, there she is. And that is my chickadee.
She's adorable.
And there, she even stands kind of ish. It just feels like it. There we go.
Okay, my finished object, let me turn the page here, is the little, I call it Little Angel, and it's the Angel Amigurumi pattern by Sherry from Chua Love, the same people who do her chickadee pattern. And I'm using a 4mm G hook and a 5mm H hook, and Hobby Lobby yarn in yellow, in cream, and in white. And I have a little bit of red, which is from my Stroll Gypsy Tonal. This is my little angel. She's cute or what? You can't really see the color changes here. This is cream, and this is cream.
If you bring her closer, they might be able to see. Yeah, they can tell.
Very
slightly. But it is a very slight change.
The hair is I Love This Yarn, and I believe the white is I Love This Yarn. The cream is something from my stash. I have no idea what it is. It was very splitty.
I think it might have been old. Maybe from that I pulled from your base.
It might have been some old Red Heart. And I mean really old, like 20 years old. But anyway, this is the angel, and the eyes are, what's the name of the eyes? Where did we get the eyes? Suncatcher eyes. This is, I switched.
All of our eyes are Suncatcher eyes right now.
This is purple. They're purple. I don't know if you can see it. I switched rainbow eyes for these purple eyes because.
Oh, we need to check pretty soon to see who won for one of the eyes for Stacy.
Yeah. Well, today was closed.
Okay, so maybe we'll find out soon.
Right. Sorry. Okay, so this is my angel, and I had originally made it for a neighbor who was homebound, but my husband suggested that maybe it would not be quite the right thing for a man. So I was thinking maybe that I'd give it to a friend of mine who she has been having a rough time. I might keep it for myself, but I think I'll probably give it to Sharon. She might like it. I think she'll like her angel.
Yeah.
So that is my little angel. And
then she could keep the angel at home while she keeps Wilson at work.
Right, or whatever she wants to do. Because her desk is getting full with things I give her. All the crochet stuff. So that is...
Well, she's definitely crochet worthy.
She is very much crochet worthy. She appreciates everything I give her, so I like to give her things. I think that's my only finished object.
Which brings us to next on the needles. Well, I do want to do the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles by Chua Love. Lovebird by Chua Love. I need to get yarn for that. Cardinal by Chua Love, and the Southerton by Kathleen Dames.
Okay. I'm going to kind of condense my stuff. You already know I've said over and over again what I want to do. The gist of it is I'd like to do a sweater eventually. I'd like to do socks. I'd like to do
Don't believe it on the socks. Every time she gets pretty yarn, she'll make it into something else. We've already seen this.
I'd like to do a shawl. Would like to cast on one of Carrie's Knit Pro Girls shawls, but I also want to do a different shawl that I will show you in my thank yous. It's very pretty too. Toys. So basically that's it.
I don't have any stash enhancement, but you do.
I do have stash enhancements.
I was good this week.
I did not order these after I talked to you. I had already ordered these. They just hadn't come in yet. This was when I had done a class for Craftsy. I'd gotten this yarn.
I thought you got that a while ago.
I did with the class. And then I ordered another one.
Oh, okay.
So this is the other one that finally came in. And
okay, I was confused. I was going like, I'm sure you showed that.
This is it's On Your Toes, 4-ply stock yarn with aloe vera, 75% superwash wool, and 25% nylon. 390
how the
yards.
aloe vera feels.
Yeah, and so this, I got it because I wasn't sure it would be enough for socks. It may be socks, it may not.
It probably won't.
It might be a shawl. I don't know. We'll see.
She knows. Deep down in her heart, she knows.
The other one that I got, this is just gorgeous. I didn't show this last week, I'm sure, because I didn't have it yet. That
would keep you from showing it if you didn't have it yet. Generally. Didn't I write this down somewhere? I have no idea.
Yeah, there it is at the bottom. She sent this to me from, this is Chaotic Yarns is where it's from. She's a doll. I really like her. She's terrific. But she didn't give me a band on this, so I didn't know what it was. I had to go look it up again. This is the Untamed on Rebellion sock, 490 yards, 100% superwash merino. And it's really pretty. It's kind of a turquoisey green with black. It's even a kind of a little bit of a muddy kind of greenish, if you can see it. But it's got 490 yards. I was so excited when I saw this. This can make a nice little shawlette, or it's actually kind of too heavy, I think, for socks. Because
I was wondering, you don't hear a lot about 100% merino being made into socks. I'm wondering if there's a reason for that.
Right. I think this might.
I haven't heard a lot about it.
This is going to be, I think, a hitchhiker. Did I say that when it came in?
Yeah, you did.
Perfect for a hitchhiker. Yes, for a hitchhiker, I think. So this came in last week between the two podcasts, as did the other yarns. Now my two breaks with my self-imposed I will not buy came up. I got an email from Craftsy, which I had not been looking at very well. I've not been looking at them, or if I had, I've been turning them off. But I've had this shawl class on my wish list forever until I felt I can't talk today. Certain that I was going to continue knitting, and the price came down because it was $39.99. I didn't want to spend $39.99 for something I might not be able to get to. But I love lace shawls, whether they're knitted or crocheted, and it came down to $19.99. So I talked to my husband, knowing it's Christmas, and he said, "Go ahead and do it. You don't have to ask, just do it." So I went ahead and bought it. I did not buy the yarn that went with it because I figured I didn't care for the color, and I've got Amanda, and I've got Chaotic Yarns, and I've got Never Enough Time, and all these other people that I can choose from and get the color I really want. So I just bought the class. I didn't buy the yarn. So I was happy about that. The other thing was, I'm making something for a friend of mine, so I had to buy the yarn for that. This is the same color that Talia used for her dog, and this is the accent color, a bright orange. I don't know if you can see it. Right. I think that it's very bright, and she will like it. I think. The other things I picked up, and this was really just as I was shopping, because we were doing some extra Christmas shopping today.
It is an unusual color.
I saw this, and I
said,
"What
yarn is this?
I want this."
With
Love Red Hearts. Actually softer. Feel it, Ty.
Oh, I've never heard of With Love Red Heart.
I think it's new. I don't know. Maybe it's
Red Heart with Love. Excuse me.
But the color is it's kind of a cranberry, and I just love it. It's one of my favorite colors. Aside from blue, reds I love, greens I love. This I used to wear this all the time in college. This color. I just love it.
You never wear that color now.
No, I don't.
Where's that?
I don't know. So this goes in my toy stash, I think. And that, because you said the other thing goes with things. Yeah, thank you. So that's my stash enhancement.
Obsessions, the toy long is going through December 24th. So if you're making any other toys, you still have time to get your toys in.
We've had a nice little.
Oh, we have a nice little
influx of people. I'm so excited to see all the different toys. They're so cute.
So please do what you can. You still have time. You have till New Year's. You have till Christmas Eve to get in all your toys.
Right.
And I'll close the thread on Christmas Eve sometime. I'll give you as much time as I can Christmas Eve.
And she's up all night, so she can do that.
So yeah, it'll close when Santa comes by with his elves. Let's see. They can be knit or crochet toys. They cannot be finished before September 1st, but they can be started as early as August. We'll have 4 winners, and y'all will get, each one of you 4 winners, whoever you may be, will get a up to $10 toy pattern. One
toy pattern up to $10.
That has to be a toy pattern.
Yeah.
And there'll be 4 winners. Other obsessions. I've obviously been a bit obsessed with the Chiwa Love patterns. Audiobooks have been very useful while knitting. I've just recently finished rereading, quote unquote, Anne of Green Gables, and then hearing for the first time Christmas Carol. I started in high school, and I couldn't get over how long it took Dickens to say how dead Marley was and explain why doornail was perfect for describing death. So I never got through the book.
Is it a coffin nail again?
No, he's saying that you should use a coffin nail, but
right.
This is why we don't use a coffin nail. So he went forever explaining
Typical
why it
Dickens.
was appropriate to say that Marley was as dead as a doornail. And I just want to hear, okay, Marley's dead. Let's move on with the story.
She's just...
I have a bad habit of skimming anyway. Listening to it by audiobook not only allowed me to knit, it also forced me to read the whole book. And when my Kindle behaves itself, it should sync, because I'm using Audible, it should sync from my Audible to my Kindle. So if I was to pick up my Kindle and try to read, it would show where I was at.
You're going to smack me if you're not careful.
I'm using this hand. I'm going to smack you. Worked on the shared story because
I no longer have it.
Finished it.
I finished it.
So it's my turn. And I did work on it a bit. I might not work on it too much tonight because I can never focus on writing on call when I know I'm on call. Most likely I'll end up spending tonight, as long as I'm at home anyway, wrapping presses.
I hate wrapping presents. I want bags. Give me bags and tissue paper, lots of it.
But yeah, we both talked writing.
Well, I haven't done my obsessions yet.
Okay, do them.
Well, if you'll stop
do them.
flapping your gum.
Do them.
Bam, 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 bam. Stop.
You wouldn't hurt him.
No, but I hurt you.
What about a deformed chickadee?
Anyway, I Craftsy, Craftsy and Toys. Chiwa Love, I guess. Is that how you pronounce it?
Chiwa Love. Chiwa Love? I don't think it's Chiwa Love. Chewbacca?
Anyway, podcasts. I'm almost caught up with my podcasts and movies. I was watching Tangled today. I didn't finish it, but I was watching it while I was finishing up my Angel and my tie. I think that's. I did a lot of writing. To finish up the shared story, so I did get that done. I haven't done any original, but I have been thinking about stuff that I want to write, so that's good. And that's all I have for obsessions.
Thank you. Well, I got a wrap from Michelle, also known Wrapline Clerk as Knit a Little. She has the 3 Stitches podcast with her daughters, Knitting Doink and TARDIS Traveler with some number after it.
Yeah.
Catherine and Lindsay. Although Catherine's TARDIS Traveler and Lindsay is
Knitting Doink.
Anyway,
so pretty.
Michelle gave me the Goldenrod Shawlette. She meant to give it to me on Tuesday when I was having that really bad, coming off that really bad shift, but there's sickness in her house. She wasn't able to give it to me till later. But this is worked with worsted yarn. It is the Goldenrod Shawlette. And I don't think I'm showing you anything. I don't think you can read it.
Very pretty.
It's very pretty. I need to find worsted yarn that I'm going to use because everything I have is in sweater mounts, and I'm not breaking up my sweater mounts. And I'm not going to use what I have left of my maple praline.
It wouldn't do it justice.
No, I don't think it would.
It wouldn't do the yarn justice, and it wouldn't do the pattern justice.
And maple, like this is Lanaloft here, and it pills. So I don't want something that pills in a shawl. So I'll figure out what I'm going to use with that. I'll have to go, I want to look at that yarn that you had picked up from Knit Picks, the green one. I want to see, maybe not that color, but I want to see what they have available.
I need to see if they have another Precoccia available in that color too.
But I need 600 yards of worsted for this particular pattern. I think it'd be a nice warm shawl, and I get so cold sometimes at night, I just want something to throw over my shoulders. But yeah. New members. Welcome to new members. We have.
You want me to do mine?
Well, okay, yeah.
My thank yous.
she can't. The welcome's a part of the thank you.
Oh, okay.
But go ahead.
Go ahead. All right. Because she always forgets that I have things to.
No, I didn't forget. You got more than I did. What you?
First, I got wrapped twice this week. I'm very grateful. This is from Farm Wife, who is Diane. Farm Wife 99, Diane. It's cute little snowball buddies. I think they're adorable. I can't wait to try these. I think I have to magic loop these, or so I'm going to have to learn a new skill. I'm excited about starting these things. I haven't started any of these wonderful knitted patterns yet because I want to get my other stuff off the needles before I start something new like this. But I think I'm going to start. I thought it was a penguin, but apparently it's an owl. The little one on the, I guess it's your right, my left. The little bird. I think I'll start with that one. But it's adorable, and I can't wait to start on that. So I thank you, Diane, very much. The other thing I got wrapped from Knit a Little, which is Michelle, with Catherine's help. This is a beautiful crocheted shawl. And it shows all the different ways you can wear it, which is awesome. I think it's absolutely beautiful. This is the one I was telling you about that I will be putting on very soon. And I'm going to use that purple yarn for. I think it'll be so pretty in this pattern. And I think this one is going to be one I make more than once. I think my mother would love this in a green. So you guys did really well. I was so excited to see this. Thank you very much. It's a beautiful pattern. I really appreciate it.
Okay. And
one more thank you.
Oh, well, go ahead.
We have to thank Denise from the Knitting Den.
Oh, yes, that's right.
She gave us a very nice shout out for our toy along. I really appreciate the shout out, Denise. Thank you very much. Please check her out if you have the chance.
She's a great podcast.
A great podcast. She's funny, and she's just a joy to watch. So check her out.
She has that British accent.
Oh, that wonderful British accent. I get homesick for England when I go listen to her. So
that reminds me. I want to also shout out the Three Stitches podcast. If you haven't listened to them, listen to them.
Oh, yes.
Mondays tend to be Michelle, who is the mother. Wednesdays are usually Catherine, but Catherine right now is home from school.
Yes.
So she might. I'm not sure when they'll be podcasting together.
And I think Lindsay might be on the way home too now.
I think she has one more week.
No, I think that was the last podcast that said it was one more week. I think she's on her way home.
I'm
not sure.
I'm not sure.
Lindsay will be on her way home soon because she was saying her next podcast.
Usually she's on Saturday.
Friday or Saturday.
Yeah.
So but I think she said her next one might be the three of them together.
Which would be cool.
So
I haven't seen three of them together in a while.
So I don't know what the schedule would be when they all get home, but
and then it'll be down to one podcast, I guess.
Right. I think it'll be one a week. So regardless, check them out. They're really good. They're fun to listen to, and the different styles for each single one is fun to watch. It'll be interesting. I have never seen them all together, so
I did when I first started listening to them, and then I took a break for a while. I think I didn't listen to podcasts for a while, and then after I met Catherine on a
Virtual Knit
Night, I picked them up again, and I haven't seen them back together, all three of them, since I listened to them way back when.
Yeah.
But yeah, welcomes now. We welcome Sock Bunny from the Sock Bunny Knit and Fit
Knit
Knit
and Fit.
Knit and Fit podcast. Sock Bunny from the Sock Bunny Knit and Fit podcast. That's Kimberly.
Check her out too. She's fun.
Yes, she is fun. Welcome to her. And then we also welcome Well Woman, who is Isobel. I think that's how you pronounce it. Isabel. Isobel.
I think it's Isabel.
If you've ever watched Lady Hawk, I'm thinking the main character Isabel.
Yeah.
Even though I think she has EAU at the end.
Yeah, I think it is. It's more of a French. I think this is French as well, but anyway, her name, I think it's Isabel. It's just not spelled the Spanish way.
But welcome. That they made our 70. We are now 72 members, so we're getting up there. We just climb a little slower than everyone else.
Slow and steady, slow and steady.
Join our Ravelry group. Feel free to friend us on Plurk on Ravelry. We'd love to see you guys, and we might finish under an hour. Yay! Okay, that's all I have to say. How about you?
Well, I think that's all I have to say too, except that we wish you a happy Advent and Christmas. And I think we'll have the Christmas podcast just fine, the one after Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure about the one after New Year because they're putting new windows in our house.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if we're going to be able to find the space.
We'll see what happens.
We'll have to see what happens, and we'll let you know. So if that pushes the prizes back, you'll know why. It might be a week after we announce, because it's going to be very hectic in here that week after New Year's, with things being pushed into the center of the house so that they can get to the windows to put them all in. Just a heads up.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and
God bless.
a great weekend.
Bye.
Sunday. God bless. Bye-bye.